Real quick, I wrote a book. It's sci-fi, neither woke nor anti-woke, and it answers the question of what happens when an insubordinate, a nerd, and a hippie alien try to stand up to an invincible spacefaring army. In short, hilarity ensues. The book is called Perfect Worlds, and it's up on Amazon right now. You'll find ebook, paperback, and hardcover editions. I hope you enjoy it, but if you don't, that's totally my fault. Alright, we picked on DC, so it's only fair to move on to Marvel. This is Thor Ragnarok and editing, and how not to interrupt a hero moment. Let's do this. For whatever reason, the filmmakers of Thor Ragnarok like to use a hero moment as a means to insert yet another stab at humor into the movie. And the problem with this, of course, is that when the joke eventually stops being funny, either on subsequent viewings or even the fourth or fifth time the hero moment has been used as a gag in the film, we're left with nothing more than a simple question. Why can't we just have the hero moment? I mean, it's like Sergeant Johnson said.
Folks need heroes, Chief. Give them hope.
The first scene we'll look at comes right at the start of the film, with Thor at the mercy of a villain called Surtur. Let's see how this confrontation plays out.
But it looks like I'm gonna have to choose option B, where I bust out of these chains, knock that tiara off your head, and stash it away in Asgard's vault.
You cannot stop Ragnarok. Why fight it?
That's a good setup for the hero moment. Thor is in a bad position, but he's still confident in his ability to free himself and kick some Surtur. So let's continue.
You cannot stop Ragnarok. Why fight it?
Because that's what heroes do. Wait, I'm sorry, I didn't time that right.
Do you see how the setup for the hero moment was pushed aside to insert humor? And they didn't need to go for the joke here. In the past 2.5 minutes, there's a joke inserted every 30 seconds. Here,
Surtur, son of... You're still alive.
Here,
Then you have seen Ragnarok, the fall of Asgard, the great prophecy.
Hang on. I'll be back around shortly.
here,
I will tower over the mountains and bury my sword deep in Asgard.
Hang on. Give it a second. I swear, I'm not even moving. It's just doing this on its own.
and here.
This is my crown, the source of my power.
Oh, that's a crown. I thought it was a big eyebrow.
It's a crown.
Anyway, it sounds...
And they could have just pumped the brakes on the humor and played it serious for the hero moment. At some point, you have to ask, is that too many attempts at humor? What would happen if we pulled back a bit? Well, that's what we're going to do now, and here's what it looks like.
But it looks like I'm gonna have to choose option B, where I bust out of these chains, knock that tiara off your head, and stash it away in Asgard's vault.
You cannot stop Ragnarok. Why fight it?
Because that's what heroes do.
And there we have it. The hero moment leads right into the action. We don't have a start, stop for the joke, then start again, thing going on. We don't need it.
This is my crown, the source of my power.
Oh, that's a crown. I thought it was a big eyebrow.
It's a crown. This is my crown, the source of my power.
Oh, that's a crown. I thought it was a...
It's a crown.
Interrupting the hero moment happens multiple times in this film. The only time a hero moment should be swerved is when it fits or helps define the character. When Valkyrie is introduced into the film, we get a perfect example of this.
He's mine.
This is the first impression we get of Valkyrie, a hero fallen from grace, and that's the exact first impression we should have of her. So in this case, humor serves the moment, it doesn't interrupt. It does interrupt, however, a bit later when Thor is ready to make a run for the ship that he hopes will get him back to Asgard. Let's look at the original clip.
I choose to run toward my problems and not away from them.
That's what...
Because that's what heroes do.
Okay, that's funny, but does the humor serve the character here, or are we simply getting a cheap laugh at Thor's expense? And how does that affect how we see Thor as a character? Do we see him as confident? Do we see him as a hero? Or do we see him as a clown who gets hit in the head by the ball he just threw? How about we alter that a bit and see what happens when we retain the hero moment?
I choose to run toward my problems and not away from them.
Now we don't see Thor as a clown. Now we see Thor as capable of doing what he's jumping into action to do. That's why we want to preserve the hero's mystique. So when we go into action, it's immediately believable that the hero can accomplish what he or she sets out to do. Also, notice how Valkyrie had a nice journey, from the drunk who doesn't care to a return to heroism, and it's good to see that her hero moment doesn't get spoiled. Okay, we're going to see one more example because I love the Hulk, and I really don't like that his hero moment was ruined in this movie. Especially when going into the final battle, the hero moment should remain unspoiled.
You wanted to know who I am?
What the hell are you talking about?
You'll see!
So it's obvious here that the movie sacrifices Hulk's hero moment at the altar of a joke. And again, we have to ask, does this serve the character? Remember when Valkyrie fell flat on her face? She was drunk, and it fit her character to have her fall like that. It neither serves Bruce Banner nor his character to fall on his face when people are in danger, and he has to change into Hulk to save them from a big threat. So let's see what happens when we alter that and give Hulk his hero moment.
You wanted to know who I am?
What the hell are you talking about?
You'll see!
And there we have it, Hulk gets his hero moment. And now we have all three heroes, Thor, Valkyrie, and Hulk, having their hero moments and not being interrupted by unnecessary humor. So it's good to remove a few jokes for the sake of preserving our heroes. There's plenty of humor in this movie already, too much humor if you ask me. If I was a script doctor on this film, I would probably remove about half of the jokes.
Is that important?
Although I definitely would keep Doug.
Doug! Oh, no, Doug's dead.
Unless Doug's dead. Sorry, Doug.